you? I hope you are doing very well. I hope all of your family is healthy and is enjoying this there's a stage of life where we have to be together, and remember, stay home, keep safe, take care, and let's keep working from home. First of all, I want to say that I do miss you a lot and that I am very grateful because you have been working in the platform, you have been doing your homeworks. I love your participation in the platform, and it was a very good second partial, but now it's time to move on to the third partial. Remember that we have 2 more weeks to go, and for this third partial what we are going to practice is countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, let's start first with the countable nouns. Here it says countable nouns. A noun in Spanish is what we call sustantivo, and a countable noun it's a sustantivo contable. This means that these nouns can be counted. This is important. It is possible to count them. You can say 1 boy, 2 boys, 3 boys, 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. Okay, you can count them. But I am going to give you a tip. Here we have tip. Whee! Okay, and the tip is that this type of nouns can be singular. It means that it refers to one thing, or they can be plural. It refers to 2 or more things, okay, that can be counted. For example, you can say, I eat a carrot every day. 1 carrot. Every day I eat 1 carrot, a carrot. But, this is singular, no? But, maybe you don't eat 1 carrot, maybe you eat more. I eat 3 carrots. Now it's plural. I eat 3 carrots every day. This is plural. So, carrot is a countable noun because it can be singular, 1 carrot, or it can be plural, 3 carrots, 10 carrots, 10,000 carrots. The countable nouns can be people, like brother. I have 2 brothers. Maybe you have 1 brother. Other one? Teacher. Oh, my favorite teacher is Teacher Jessie. Woo! Or you can also say, oh, in total I've got 5 teachers at school. Okay? Animals. Other things that can be counted are animals. For example, cat. Oh, I saw a black cat in my yard. Okay, good. Black cats are good. I like them. Or you can say another animal, dog. My mother has got 2 dogs. One is Nasser mini toy, and the other one is a Rottweiler, for example. Now she has got 2 dogs. Other things that can be counted are fruit and vegetables, fruits and vegetables, specific fruit and vegetables like carrots, like apples. I eat 1 apple, or I eat 3 apples, I don't know, depends on me. Onion, you can say, oh, we need to buy an onion for the hot dogs. And then we have food. Food can be counted too, depending on the type of food it is. We can say, for example, egg. Oh, yes, please, give me 3 fried eggs. Okay, you can count the eggs. Other things that can be counted is sandwich. Can I have a sandwich, please? And this means that you can count them, and etc. Okay, you can say, for example, marker. It's something that you can count. You can count, I don't know, cell phones. You can count books. You can count computers and lots of things. Okay, so this is for the countable nouns. And what we have next is obviously the uncountable nouns. Okay, this means that these nouns are sustantivos no contables or incontables, and obviously they represent nouns that can't, this is negative, they can't be counted. It's not possible to count them. Okay, like for example, you cannot count the air, you cannot count love, you cannot count the milk. Okay, things that are not possible to count. There is another tip here. Okay, we have also another tip. Okay, and this tip is that they are always, and here I want to say they are always singular. Okay, they are always singular. And for example, we can see this example that says, sorry, but we don't have water. There's no water. Okay, we don't have water. Or we can say, oh, sorry, but we don't have money, so we cannot invite you. Or sorry, but we don't have food. Maybe we should go to a restaurant or something like that. Things that you cannot count. And here, maybe we are going to have a little problem because we have this crash. We have this crash with the cultures between the way Mexicans speak and the general truth. And countable nouns can be liquids, like I said, water. In my normal classes or in past generations, this is a problem because students tell me, teacher, but you can count water. You can go to the cafeteria and say, me da un agua, please. Yes, you say me da un agua. In Spanish, we say me da un agua. But that is wrong. I don't know why we say that, because the lady, the girl in the cafeteria, she cannot give us a water. She gives us a bottle of water. Ah, okay. Una botella de agua. She doesn't go to the water pool or to the water bucket and takes one water. And no. Okay, she gives us a bottle of water, a glass of water. But the water, you cannot count it. You cannot separate it. Okay, to give me one or two. You can divide it if you put it in a different container. It is the same, for example, with milk. Okay. Oh, I would like some milk for breakfast. Yes, you can have a cup of milk. It's like the same, no? In Mexico we say, pues no se te olvide comprarme 2 leches. But we are nos referimos a las cajas de leche. We are referring to the boxes of milk or to the bottles of milk or to the glasses of milk. But milk is uncountable. You cannot separate it. Grains. For example, rice, arroz, or sugar. Well, no, sugar would be powder. What, lentils? Okay, you don't count them. Yes. If you have nothing better to do, you can say 1 rice, 2 rice, 3 rice. But who would ever do that? Just if you really didn't have anything to do, and it would be just for fun. But you don't go to the store, no van a la tienda y piden, me da un arroz, please, and they give you one grain of rice. No, they don't do that. You ask for 1 kilo of rice from 1 bag of lentils. You don't count them. You buy them in like packages or in containers. Powder. Powder is another thing that cannot be counted. Okay, and I think this one is more difficult to count than the grains. Even if you wanted, aun si quisieran, you wouldn't be able to count powder. For example, sugar, as I said. You don't say, I want 2 sugars. No, you don't say that. Okay, the sugar, you cannot divide it. You don't count it. When you're drinking your coffee, you don't put 1 grain of sugar to your coffee. You put 1 spoon of sugar or something like that. So sugar is not possible to count. Sand, arena, you don't count sand, you don't count the arena. Have you ever counted the sand when you go to the beach? No, right? Nobody counts sand. Metals like for example gold, well, not diamonds can be counted, gold, silver, copper, all of those things, you don't count them. Gold and silver. Yes, you can measure them, los pueden medir, but you cannot count them, no los pueden contar, okay? Abstract nouns, I was saying. Love. Do you love me? Yes, I love you, but how much you love me? That is a tricky question because you cannot count love. You cannot say, I have 2 loves or 3 loves. It's, or you love it or you don't love it. You love it a lot, you love it a little, but you cannot separate it. I love you too. Or something. It's like, you cannot count love. Love cannot be counted. Other thing could be a space or air. You cannot separate. Look, I cannot, there is air in this room, right? Hay mucho aire en este cuarto. But I don't count it. I don't say 1 air, 2 airs, 3 airs, 4 airs. You don't say that. The air is the air and you don't divide it. Other thing are leaves, like lettuce, broccoli. In general, you don't count those things. Yes, if you want to do something very specific, maybe, can you pass me 2 leaves of lettuce? Well, yes, but you are counting the leaves, but the lettuce itself, no. And other things could be like, for example, bread. And this is another problem in Mexico, because when we listen to the panadero, we call it the people who is in the tricycle selling bread. We say, panadero, 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 and give me 2 breads. Deme 2 panes. But we don't refer to 2 breads. What we want to say is, deme 2 donas, deme 2 conchas, deme 2 barras. Okay, you can count the pieces or you can count the specific type of bread, but the bread in general, no. Okay. Another thing would be cheese. Cheese cannot be counted, pasta cannot be counted. Why? Because you never count it. It is not like you're going to divide it and count it. Okay? So that is for the uncountable nouns, things that cannot be counted. But that's not all. Okay? To make it a little bit more complicated, English and its complications. To make it a little bit more complicated, there are some nouns that have the 2 possibilities. They can be countable and they can be uncountable. This is depending on the context, okay? Sometimes words, the same as in Spanish, one word can have 2 different ideas, can give 2 different ideas. Let me explain it with some examples. For example, time, okay? Time, if you notice, is an abstract noun. The idea is that time cannot be counted. Okay, you cannot count time. You can count minutes, you can count hours, you can count seconds, you can count days, but the time you cannot count. Okay, so I don't have time. This is uncountable. I don't have time. Sorry, in general, I don't have time. But if you are talking about the repetitions of something, I did this video 3 times. I did this video 3 times because I kept on messing up. So, if you notice here, you're not talking about the time as a general idea. You're talking about how many times, how many repetitions did you have to do something. Okay? Then we have fruit. The fruit is another thing that can be countable or uncountable. Uncountable if you are talking about the fruit in general. Like, I don't eat fruit. I don't eat fruit. You are not referring to an apple or a pear or watermelon. No, in general, you don't eat fruit. Okay, you don't like it. You don't eat any of the fruit that you can see. When the idea again is general, it is considered uncountable. Here, let's put it uncountable and countable. But if you want to say about a specific quantity, you can say, I don't know, I ate 2 fruits this morning. I ate 2 fruits this morning, 1 banana and 1 apple. Okay, you are talking about the pieces of fruit that you had for breakfast or that you had for dinner. Okay, in that case, yes, you can count it. Notice, how can you recognize those things? Easy, remember the tips. If it is singular, it is uncountable. Fruit, uncountable. Times, countable, it has the S, it is plural. Fruits, it has the S, it is plural. It can be either singular or plural. Iron, like Iron Man. Remember, iron is a metal, okay? We need iron to make the bridge. I hope they do. Architects or engineers, please don't kill me if I'm wrong. We need iron to build a bridge. Okay, perfect. Iron is the metal, the general metal. But remember, iron also means plancha, okay? Which is an appliance, a domestic appliance that we use for our clothes when we want them to be soft and smooth. We have to use our iron on them. I gave my mom an iron for Mother's Day. Okay, in this case, you are referring to the appliance. You are referring to the plancha, which is the object we use. In that case, it's not a general idea, it's one object and it can be counted. Okay? Glass. The glass as a material is not counted. I don't know. The windows are made out of glass. Okay, that is a material and you don't count it. But remember, glass also means vaso. So, you can say drink 8 glasses of water. Okay, drink 8 glasses of water. You are not referring to the material. You are referring to the container. Una cosa es el material that is in the windows that cannot be counted, and the other thing are y lo otro son los vasos, the glasses. Yes, you can divide it here. For example, I have a glass. It's empty and it's dirty, but it's one glass. Okay, and you can count them. And there are many others. And I am sure that if you Google it a little bit, you can find out more examples about nouns that can be either countable or uncountable. And I would like to know in the comments if you found out other examples of this thing. And remember, any questions, problems, or suggestions, you can write me by Edmodo, or you can text me also in the comments, and I will try to answer and to improve as much as I can. If you consider that I am speaking a little bit too fast, tell me, teacher, don't speak too fast, and I will try to slow down. Okay, hope you're doing well, hope that the video is useful to you, and see you next time.